I know you're scared. Yeah, I'd be too. If I were you. I know you're scared. I'd be too. If I were you. You better bring your A game. Bring your A game. You better bring your A game. Bring your A game. You better bring your A game. Bring your A game. You better bring your A game.
The Minnesota Vikings are set to face off against the Arizona Cardinals, US Bank Stadium, and I'm already calling this one a win. Want to know why? The Vikings have history on their side. The Cardinals have never beaten the Vikings, I believe, in a regular season home game in US Bank Stadium. The NFC West struggles whenever they come to Minnesota. The Seahawks in 2021, the Niners this year and last year, and now the Cardinals. Or the Cardinals also struggled against us in 2022. But also now this year's they're going to struggle again. They're going to struggle against us again. The thing though is history. Does it last? When it comes to this kind of history, I think it does last. In my opinion, this Vikings team, the only way we lose this game is if we hurt ourselves. That's the only way we lose this game. The only possible way. We keep up the consistency. We keep up the actual fight for the game. We could win this game by like 20 points pretty easily. It's Kyler Murray. He can be stopped. As long as the defense keeps up the great work they're doing, and as long as the offense consistently puts up good drives of at least 3 points. I'm looking for 7, obviously, but 3 points is enough in some cases, obviously. But this Vikings team is more than good enough to win this game against the Cardinals. They should have beaten the Rams, by the way, back in Week 8 if you're talking about the NFC West. But the Vikings don't do well when they go out west, and we went out west to play the Rams. But that's neither here or there because we're here to play the Cardinals. We're a 9-2 team, and we're arguably the best team in the NFC, and arguably one of the best teams in the NFL. And arguably, if we get our ish together, arguably competent with the Chiefs. If we get it together, because Patrick Mahomes has not been playing well this past 5 games. But if we just keep it together, and if Sam Darnold knows where he's throwing to, focus on Aaron Jones, because we see Aaron Jones getting open out on the flat, and that's something to definitely take note of. And when you talk about that, and when you talk about the players that are getting open constantly. Let's say Justin Jefferson constantly gets held this game. You got Jordan Addison, you got Jalen Naylor, and you got Aaron Jones, who's great at catching screens and a great pass catcher overall. There isn't an excuse, Sam, to throw a pick. You have to throw the ball away if a guy's chasing you. Don't try to be the hero. I noticed that even Trent Sherfield pitches in to get some catches as well. So no reason to throw a pick. No reason. The only thing that I'll give Sam a pass for is if he throws a ball, the receiver misses the catch, he tips it in the air, and the DB picks it. That's the only reason why Sam should throw a pick this game. This offense, I'm expecting this offense to go to just explode today. Explode all over these Cardinals because we need to do that. We most definitely need to do that. We need to get it back together. We cannot rely on the defense. We can't always we can't always have one position rely on the other. We need to play well. We need to be in sync for all 3 sides of the ball. Offense, defense, special teams, all of them. But in my opinion, though, if we do that, we're easily a playoff team, easily a second-round playoff team, easily an NFC champion. But we just have to get it together from the start. We got J.J. McCarthy next year, and he needs to know what kind of good offense he's getting into. And Sam Darnold, he's got a good backup in Daniel Jones because he's playing in the KOC system. If we had Daniel Jones a little earlier, then we wouldn't have needed Nick Mullins to come back in. But Nick Mullins, though, he's completed third down conversions whenever he comes into the game, even if it's just one snap. Nick Mullins is still a guy who can sling the ball without any fear of throwing a pick. That's a good thing and a bad thing because you still need to be mindful of where you're throwing the ball. Obviously, we can't have a 500-yard passing game but with 4 interceptions. So that's where I'm going at today. But in all seriousness, we can talk all the kind of crap about Sam Darnold that we want to talk about. But the second that guy goes down, all of our hearts just like have a mini heart attack. We all have a mini heart attack. Our hearts basically stop beating for like half a second. So that's exactly why Daniel Jones was a good decision, a good business decision as well. Now, whether he's on the practice squad, which I believe he is, or the regular team, or the regular roster, he's still good to be there. He gets the knowledge. He's another veteran that can give J.J. McCarthy the knowledge that he needs because J.J. McCarthy's going to need that. And with J.J. McCarthy coming in next year, we're going to need all the help we can get. All the help we can get. On defense, we're all set. But as much as I like guys like Stephon Gilmore, we need to get ourselves a young cornerback, right? No, nothing against Gilmore. Nothing against Gilmore at all. I'm not going to take anything away from Gilmore. He's still a great player. We're going to need a young, fast, active player with a CB1 caliber in him. We're gonna need that. A young player who's a CB1. That's all I want. And in the draft, though, even though he's not a CB, he's a running back. He's a guy that could be very useful to our offense. I believe it's Ashton Genty, I believe his name is. In the draft, he's a amazing player. You know, he's definitely a top draft pick and coming this way. I don't know if he's coming to Minnesota or coming to a different team. If he goes to the Chiefs, that's going to be terrible, man, for us NFL fans. But one team we need to shut down, the Lions. The Detroit Lions are a serious headache right now. They should have never beaten the Bears. That's the simple thing. But when you look at this Vikings team and you're going up against a team like the Cardinals with Kyler Murray, that's an easy win, right? If we beat the Cardinals and then win out for the rest of the schedule, and then the Lions lose to the Bills and the Niners, we could take back the North. We could. We need to lock in for this game and lock in for the other games, and we have an opportunity. We have opportunities, actually, plural. And the reason why is because this Vikings team is special. This Vikings team is uncommon, and whether you want to see it or not, it's the truth. It's the truth. And, well, even though we tend to make mistakes every once in a while, we're still a top tier football team, and this game is going to show why. So yeah, I feel that these Vikings are going to beat the Cardinals. I feel that it's going to be a good game, and it's going to be an incredible game. But the injury report, by the way, I just wanted to share the injury report real quick. So here it is. Josh Oliver, tight end. He suffered a wrist and ankle injury. Didn't practice all week. He's out for the game. Jay Ward with an elbow injury. Didn't practice all week. He's out for the game. Cam Robinson. You know what? Cam Robinson and Ivan Pace Jr. both need to kidnap Wolverine and steal its healing powers right now. We cannot suffer any more injuries. Come on. But Cam Robinson suffered a foot injury. He was limited on Wednesday, limited on Thursday, but had full practice on Friday. I like to see that. Harrison Phillips had some injury-related rest, but he did fully practice for the rest of the week. Patrick Jones, he was limited on Wednesday with a knee injury, limited on Thursday, and then a full participant on Friday. Camu Grugier-Hill, shoulder injury, limited on Wednesday, fully practiced on Thursday and Friday. Andrew Van Ginkel with a thigh injury, limited on Wednesday, limited on Thursday, fully practiced on Friday. Jonathan Bullard with a toe injury, limited on Wednesday, fully practiced on Thursday, and fully practiced on Friday. Brandon Powell, ankle injury, limited on Wednesday, and then fully practiced on Thursday and Friday. And Harrison Smith and Stephon Gilmore continue to get veteran rest, which is okay. You know, they're still playing at a high level. The Arizona Cardinals, wow, they have a lot less injury reports than we do. Or injured players, I mean. Kelvin Beachum, I believe is how you say his name, offensive tackle for the Cardinals. He had NIR rest, did not practice on Wednesday, fully practiced on Thursday, fully practiced on Friday. Jalen Thompson, defensive back, ankle injury, limited all week. Amari DeMercado, running back, shoulder injury, limited all week as well. Darius Robinson, defensive lineman for the Cardinals, suffered a calf injury, limited all week. Jonah Williams with a shoulder injury, limited on Wednesday, limited on Thursday, and fully practiced on Friday. Joey Blunt with a hip injury. His Wednesday and Thursday practice is unlisted, but his Friday practice shows that he was limited. So that's all that it is there. But in all seriousness, we need to unleash absolute just fury on this Cardinals offense. We cannot let Kyler Murray have a game that's over 150 yards passing. There's no excuse. Unless our offense keeps on giving up the ball and making our defense get tired and just – we don't want to be slugs out there. We want to have energy. We want to have grit. This Vikings team is all about grit. Our entire history is grit. Just grit, grit, grit. And we've seen that since the Purple People Eaters days, since the days of Alan Page and Doug Sutherland, Carl Eller, Gary Larson, all those guys. Even when Tommy Kramer was quarterback, and back when Fran Tarkenton invented scrambling, Vikings quarterback did that, by the way. And Fran Tarkenton, legendary quarterback, man. So our team since then has been about grit. We need to show that against the Cardinals. They've never beaten us in US Bank Stadium when it mattered. So we can easily get this win. There's no excuse. Come on, Sam. You got this. Skol Vikings.
I know you're scared. I do too. If I were you. I know you're scared.